Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this section of reads. This should be on YouTube channel James 13 Wicca. If you're not seeing it there, that's where it should be. Also, put the decks and dice below if you're looking for that information. If you would like a direct reading, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Libra? I mean, yeah. Huh. This is going to be an interesting reading. Because it's something that might need a little bit more consideration. Okay, something that might need a little bit more consideration. This is very interesting. I just did Gemini's. They had like the whole table covered with cards. It was a lot. Yours is more concise and more minimalistic, I'm noticing. The energy, like this card, oh, I'm surprised this came out so quick. This fell out when I was shuffling, and for some reason I put it back in the deck, and they're like, no, we want that there. Like, no, this card, you need this one. Is this you or somebody else? I'm thinking it might be somebody else. The King of Swords, which has a very strong fire connection on it, I'm noticing in this deck. Swords are usually air. This one, it does get that fire connection. I don't know if it's meaning to or not. Because, like, I see torches as fire. The world keeps coming up with this. Lack of stability, focus, plan. You got the Ace of Pentacles reversed with this one. There was no structure to this. Whatever this was, I don't think this was you. I don't think this was you. The way it entered in, nothing supporting who it was, what it was, where it was going to go. It was just going. And I do feel like it showed up, and I think it's stuck. But when it showed up, I don't feel like there was any structure behind it that I was aware of. At least not in truth. I might have asked some questions, might have got some answers, but it could be the answers you got might have been truthful, but didn't apply to your situation. Okay, so the energy currently is good. Currently good, but I feel like you're on the reality train in the sense of like, it came in out of nowhere. It could leave out of nowhere too. The way it came in, it could go out the same way. I feel like I keep thinking about it, and I'm just like, not that I want it to, but I'm addressing it with myself. At least internally, I'm addressing it. Addressing it. The Sun card comes up on the dice and in the cards. Your energy is good. You're enjoying the moment. It's this where this shows up in the reading. It's kind of like the weather. It's here for a little while, but you know, a lot of us live in places where, you know, it doesn't last forever. The weather changes. I think no matter where you live, sooner or later the weather changes, and you know, it's kind of like where I am. It's cold. The weather here is going to be in the cold bracket. It's going to be there for a while. It may not snow every day. It may rain. It's going to be cold rain. Maybe a clear day. But it's kind of like you get the general temperature of it. You know what I mean? The general temperature stays within a certain area. And then precipitation comes and goes as it will. Sun will come and go as it will. Overall, very positive energy, very good situation. Not every day is the best day, but it's still in the realm of good. Do you want more from this? I feel like I'm ready to move forward, and I kind of want to see if I can kind of secure this a little more. Oh, is that where we're going with this? Well, you do have the Queen of Pentacles in your thoughts, so that would make sense. Yep, and you got the Hierophant showing up on the dice, and you got the Four of Cups, kind of like, I want to secure it more, but can I realistically do that? It's kind of like, I could get somebody to sign a contract, but I don't feel like that's guaranteed they're going to honor it. Even with the thought of, like, if they don't honor the contract, I can get lawyers involved and make life difficult for them, still doesn't mean they're going to honor it. It's kind of like, because I'm going to take this the business route. I've seen people sign contracts, I'm going to be here for 2 years, 5 years, whatever, and then they go a different direction, and they break the contract, and then there's some legal issues, but they move on anyway. Just because they signed a contract doesn't mean it's going to hold up that way. And I keep looking at this from your angle in the sense of, like, I could try that. It may improve my chances. It doesn't guarantee anything. And I feel like I'm putting a lot of thought into this. I know what I want to come next, but what realistically makes sense? I feel like some of you are also looking at this, the way this energy moves. If I try to confine it, that literally might be what gets it to move on. If I try to block it in and put parameters and boundaries, that literally could be what pushes them out. It gets them to run. That could be how I lose this connection. So it's kind of like, okay, what makes sense? Because I'd like to lock it in, but I'm like, I don't know if that's really going to work here. I don't know if that's really an option. Current energy, I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with it. You got the Fool card here. Can we get a little bit more on that? I know there's something coming up here, but we got to get there first. Nine of Fire. I'm holding the line. I'm watching what's going on. The Nine of Fire is like, it's the Nine of Wands. It's kind of like there's a... I'm trying to keep things open, and I'm letting in what I want to let in, but I'm not letting everything in. When I see the Nine of Wands, it's holding the line, and it's kind of like, if you have pre-approval and I want you on the other side of this line, I will let you in. But if I'm not sure or I don't want you here, you stay on that side. That's how I read the Nine of Wands, just to be fair. It's usually it's holding the line. Well, and usually the people that get past the line are only people who had pre-approval, if you will. No new energy allowed in. It's kind of how I see that. I'm getting... I'm also trying not to challenge the situation. I'm not challenging the situation, so I'm not letting people know that it's going on over here. I'm not letting people know that I closed the door. I'm just keeping attention away from it. So even though there might be some people with pre-approval, I don't really want their attention. I don't want them trying to get in. I'm trying to dissuade them from that. I'm just enjoying it for what it is right now. Just kind of like, for what it is right now, I'm just kind of going with it. I'm just kind of flowing with it. It is what it is for right now. It's a good moment right now. I'm going to enjoy the moment as it is right now. What is this? You got the Seven of Cups coming up here, which can be a few different things. Sometimes it's possibilities. Sometimes it's illusions. Sometimes it's dreams. Sometimes it's aspirations. It could be a few different things. When I see this card come in, my first thought is like, what can we make that's real here? Because it's a lot of possibilities and dreams and aspirations, but it's like, what can we fill up any of these cups with actual fluid and take it with us? Can we do that? Because it just floating around here doesn't do anything for you. What can actually happen here? And I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune reversed and then the Ace of Pentacles coming in at the same time. It feels like this is a moment where I'm like, I gotta move. I need to define this situation. I feel like I need to define this situation because there's a lot of possibilities, and I'm like, if I don't at least try to define one of these possibilities, it's just gonna float there and then float away. It's like a dream. once you wake up, it's gone. You can write it down and remember it, but once you're out of the dream, it's not there anymore. It's just kind of like a memory. It has its place. But if I don't take that dream and try to create a tangible reality from it, then it's just a dream. It's just a memory. Be careful of absolutes. Be careful of absolutes. Okay? Something that may not serve you. I'm going to get a couple of dice on this. That's swords. Be careful of the absolutes. You got the chariot coming in like this. You also got the page of swords coming in the same way. There's things here that I feel like no matter how hard I try to define them, they really can't be defined. I don't know what to say about that. It's like water flowing down a river. Sometimes there's more water, sometimes there's less. But I can't define it to this exact amount every time. I can't get it down to like you know what I mean? I can't like get it down to a cup of water. Like it's this many cups of water for sure. You know what I mean? I can't measure it exactly. I just feel like I can't. I don't know if that's realistic or not. I'd assume like you can guess, you can get a good idea, but you won't have the exact number of how much down to the little minusculous piece, to the molecule, whatever. Be careful of absolutes is what I keep getting from this. That's just what I keep getting from this. The other option here is there's something else there. There's something else there. I feel like Libra's really on point with this usually, so I'm kind of... Like, Libra knows there's always more to be learned. I feel like Libra knows that. Libra's like always like, oh, there's always more to know. There's always more to figure out. There's always more. There's always more. I feel like that's a Libra thing. Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. Consider what looks to be an absolute and challenge it. Okay. If you're not happy with something, is it changeable? Consider absolutes and challenge it within reason. Look at things you really don't care for and try to challenge it a little. On your terms, of course. You know what I mean? I don't think of Libra as a person who likes to create discord. I really don't think y'all like that. But I do think you guys like to find out the truth and you like to get a little deeper into the situation. And you have your ways of doing that. So like, challenge it on your terms. Challenge it in a way that makes sense to you, that you're comfortable with. Let more come into you, because there's more fun to be had here. And you might be shocked. Pleasantly? I mean, you got some good cards coming up, but you might be pleasantly shocked about what comes out of challenging the situation. Can we just get one more roll on that, just so I'm sure? Because it's kind of like, what's going on here? Seven of Pentacles reversed, and then the World card coming in again. But it's when it comes up in the dice, it keeps coming in like this. Actually, it's over here. It's coming in like that, in the sense of like challenging the situation, challenging the phase, challenging if it's over, challenging if something else can start, and like really kind of testing it. And the Seven of Pentacles reversed is like, this isn't like a slow build. This isn't like showing you what it is over time. I don't feel like that's reliable, and I don't know why. It reminds me of working in an ER, an emergency room. Like, what it was yesterday has nothing to do with it's going to be today or what it's going to be in a week. There's always something different. It's always going to be its own thing. Even if it's similar, it's always different. You know what I mean? The Princess of Torches in this one, I think of it, when I'm looking at it in relation to this reading, is like the night. I feel like this is more of a night energy, the way this feels. This energy has more possibilities. It came in with the King. It's going to continue with the Knight. This energy is very, I almost want to say random. It's got surprises. It's got surprises. And sometimes you're going to want to back off from these surprises, and you're not going to want to be a part of that. I don't think that's a problem. But I do feel like there's interesting information coming in with this situation, especially if you challenge it a little. I feel like you may choose, I don't know if you're going to choose or just end up on the outside, just to be fair with you. But there's a lot here of like the question of loyalty and certain things that you don't want to be a part of. It may be like, you know what, as I'm seeing this go forward, this part, I like being a part of that. That, no, I don't want to be a part of that. It may be one of those things where I like this person, friend, family, whatever, could be a romance thing, but I don't want to be involved in everything they do. This reminds me of people who like, maybe one of you are into sports, and you're like, that's cool, but I don't want to go to the games. Or it could be some, like, one person likes dancing, you're like, that's cool, but I don't want to do that. Or, you know, one person likes to do this or do that. You know what it is, whatever it is. One person likes seafood, and you're like, yeah, it's cool, but I don't want to go to that. They can go with their friends on that one. That's cool. It doesn't have to be big, major things, but there's more to learn here. Whatever this is. Like, I keep feeling like there's something I'm not quite touching on. Maybe this last section of cards will tell us. Cups. 4 of Cups again. I feel like we already had that in this reading, but I could be wrong. And then the Empress coming in like that. The Wandering Path. And the Knight card. And then the 5 of Wands. Whatever this is, even though the energy is very good, currently the energy is very good because I realize we started with that, and it still does feel good. It can stay good for you, even though you got the 5 of Wands here with the Knight. There's going to be conflict that starts to arise around this energy. When that conflict starts to arise and it's down the road a little bit, I feel like then you're going to learn why this energy kind of shows up out of nowhere and sometimes disappears out of nowhere. I feel like that's where you're going to get your answers. And you might be on the outside of this, because I saw that 5 of Pentacles there with the loyalty. Kind of like, some things I'm just not going to be a part of, and some things I don't want to be. That might be where you get your answers, and that may be what you need to find out with this situation. Especially if you get to this point where there's a lot of possibilities, and it's kind of like, I feel like I need to nail down one of these possibilities. And they're saying, maybe not yet. Maybe let this go a little bit longer, and like have a half connection with this situation, half in, half out. That way you can be connected, have what you want with it, then step back and then see how other people are reacting. And it's through conflicts with others that I think you're going to realize what this is really made of, and that's how you're going to get through the night. You're going to find out what's really going on there. Because I get the two of these together, like the torches and the night, is kind of like things are going to be illuminated that maybe you didn't even realize were there. And through this wandering path, you'll find out what you really need to know. Before you actually tack down a possibility, you put down some type of contract. I feel like what they're saying is like, wait a little bit. You can learn a bit more. This information you could learn through watching them have conflicts with others. You don't have to be involved in those conflicts. Like, you don't have to be, in that conflict. But if you hear about it, or you're able to absorb the information from the side and watch it play out, kind of like watching people argue on TV, kind of like, oh, I know what happened. I know why they did that. I don't feel like I'm in the middle of that argument, but I can see why that's happening and what this, that, and the other thing. And because I'm on the outside, I don't feel the anxiety of having to like solve it. I can just kind of like absorb, like, oh, they did that, it's caused this, that, and this. That may help you make a different decision, a more educated decision. Like, okay, before I wanted to kind of do something with this, knowing what I know now, I don't think I want that now. All right, I think we're there. Is there anything I missed? Because the energy's good. It came in out of nowhere. The energy's good. There's the ability to kind of like lock something in. I kind of feel that with this. You could kind of lock something in if you want to, or try to at least. But they're saying hold back. Hold back and give yourself some more space. And create some situations where you can learn more about this situation from the outside. You might find information that makes a big difference to you before you make commitments that maybe you decide later on, like, oh, if I had known that, maybe I wouldn't have done that. I think that's where they're steering you with this. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.